guys, it's Christy here, and today is my 34th birthday. Yay! I turned 34. It's November the 15th. Sorry if you feel like I'm looking a little rough. As you know, it's only been 25 days since my sweet Zoe Grace arrived. And of course, I don't do makeup, so this is just me. This is what you get. And thanks for my hat because it's cold outside, and yeah, just like cats. So I actually wrote out a blog that I was gonna put out, but honestly, I really don't feel like typing or just editing my thoughts, so I decided to do a video instead. So here's my video, chapter 34, Mummy Edition, faith. It's about faith. Suge Avery, the character from one of my favorite movies, The Color Purple, coined the phrase, I's married now. So, with that same boldness and enthusiasm that she said, I can now say, I's a mommy now. So, I'm not sure if the phrase, it's been a long time, humming is really the most accurate thing to say. Unlike most women, being a mommy was not a goal of mine at all. So, of course, I wanted to know if I could have children, but it was really not something I really ever considered until 4 years ago, the year being 2013. When I was asked if I wanted children, and my response was no, people called me selfish. When people asked when was I going to have a baby, and I said that's not in the plan, they looked at me like something was seriously wrong with me, but I didn't care. I was different, and to me, it was completely okay that I didn't want kids. You see, I didn't think it was selfish at all. I thought it was actually being responsible because, there are just too many children in the world today who have parents who do not have time for them and who actually just they don't want them. So I didn't want to be another statistic. So I had other goals and plans, and I was not selfish but yet responsible enough to know I wasn't ready to be somebody's mommy. So I didn't even have the desire. That was until 2013 when Angela Caesar prayed and prophesied that my womb would be open. It was then that I realized that I actually built a wall around my heart and emotions, and that I was really protecting myself from the idea and thought of what if I could never have children. So it was just easier to respond to someone who questioned my motherhood status with, I don't want kids, than to face myself in the reality that it was possible that I could not have and maybe would literally never have children. So I had always told God if He wanted me to have kids, then He would literally have to come and sit on my lap and tell me just that. And you know God, so guess what He did? August 2013, while I was visiting my friends at the Pursuit of God church, He showed up in such a powerful way that I had to sit down when Pastor Sheila asked, is there anything you need to say yes to God about? At first, I was like, nope, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And then I said, oh my gosh. And God set me down. He sat on my lap and I was unable to move. Like, y'all, for real, this really did happen. It was then that I was reminded about releasing my faith about this motherhood journey. But I did say yes. In October 2013, I was propositioned about adopting, and I didn't even honestly consider it because I knew Raphael, who's my husband, would say nope, but he surprised me. And so when I discussed it with him, he actually said yes. I was shocked, but we prayed about it and we felt led by God that that was what he wanted us to do. So it would end up being a quick transition as the baby was due in December and this was October. So we made plans, our family and friends were supportive, and then during our fifth anniversary, she made her arrival into the world. We called her Riley Elise. My husband named her and he gave her his initials. And so we had an amazing first day with her in the hospital, but then chaos came. And when I tell you the devil showed up, he showed up. But we were on a journey sent by God. So even though our world was shattered and we never brought Riley home, the scriptures, they're really true. Romans 8 and 28 says, and we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose for them. So we stood on that. And we also stood on Genesis 50 and 20 that said, you intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. So, um, if anybody's gone through an adoption process, that you know, once you sign the contracts, no matter what happens, whether you get to keep the baby or the birth mother decides that they want to keep the baby, you don't get a refund on your money. So we had invested $2,500 into this, $2,000 for a lawyer, and 5,000, excuse me, $500 for our home study. They were two separate companies. So after all of this happened, we called to let them both know that, we no longer needed their services. And when I tell you within 2 weeks, both companies, not one, both companies refunded us our money. That was a God move right there. Because they didn't have to give us our money back. They shouldn't have given us our money back. But so a test had been passed, and my heart was open now to the possibility of being a mom. But I was angry. Oh, I was so angry. I was angry with God. I was angry with myself. And I thought if I had said no, my heart would not be broken. If I had said no, I wouldn't feel like my child was ripped from me. So once again, it was just easier to say no to kids. But somewhere down the line, I said yes to God and said, if you want me to be a mommy, then I will do it. Fast forward to 2017, because sometimes we tell God we'll do things and we forget. And so I still had the same response when people question my motherhood status, because it was just safe and natural. So when I sat in church in February of this year and heard the Lord whisper, Zoe Grace, I didn't think much of it. Actually, I went home and Googled Zoe Grace, and an artist came up. It was a musical duo, so I was like, oh, okay, well maybe he wants me to listen to some their music or check out some art. So, like I said, didn't think of anything of it. So it was March 2017 when I actually found out I was pregnant, and I was an emotional wreck. But you know what? I kept it together for the public. I was so afraid that I might lose this baby like I had lost Riley 3 years ago, um, or 3 years before, that I didn't tell anyone I was pregnant. And I went through my normal routine. No one questioned anything because I had been in a car accident in November 2016. So everything about my lifestyle was already different. Like I didn't wear heels anymore. I couldn't lift anything heavy. I took medicine that required me to have a strict diet and, just other things. So it was not like anything about my life changed as far as those things that you go through with pregnancy and morning sickness and, just being pregnant. So in June, we told family and friends. In August, I began to have contractions. She tried to come early at 26 weeks. And when I say it was a very scary time in my life, I was scared and I was devastated because all I could think about was, here we go again. But I trusted God and I trusted that whatever happened, He knew best. So for the next 11 weeks, I didn't drive. I took medicine twice a day. I was put on bed rest, light duty. I did my best to be stress free, basically. And so on October the 20th, while shopping at Walmart, I was literally driving the little um, electronic buggy. My water broke. I had not been in any pain. I had not been hurt. So it was so unexpected. And my baby girl entered the world at 37 weeks exactly on October the 21st. She didn't have a name. Everyone had asked us throughout the pregnancy what was her name, and we would just say she doesn't have a name. I actually called her Autumn Jelly Bean throughout the pregnancy, and people just thought, we were hiding her name, but we really just didn't have a name for her. So I believe that God had given me the name Zoe Grace, but my husband kept giving me other names. So I questioned whether I was hearing from God, and I kept telling him, pray again, pray a little harder, because I wanted us to be in agreement. I also felt the need to name her after my mom because when I tell you she's been my angel on earth, she has taken care of me throughout this entire process and is still here holding my hand. Yes. So, I wanted to believe and know God has spoken to me about the name Zoe Grace. So finally, when I say in the ninth hour, because they don't want to release you without you filling out their social security paperwork, um, his best friend, which happens to be a cousin of his, asked him what name we had chosen, and he reluctantly said, I think we're going to go with Zoe Grace. And his cousin had called to like suggest the exact name to us. And there my Zoe Grace was named 2 days after she was born. So you see, this journey just wasn't about hearing and obeying God. It was much bigger. It was about faith, and it was about my faith. According to the dictionary, faith has been defined as complete trust or confidence in someone or something. So God wanted me to have faith in Him that He would give me the desires of my heart. Psalms 37:4 says, take delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. He wanted me to trust him that he would give me a hope in a future. One of my favorite scriptures, Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. And God wanted me to have confidence that He would open my womb for a child, for Zoe Grace. For her name literally means life, God's favor. So with every step in the process, God favored me. He sustained my life. Um, he kept Zoe safe, and my faith was renewed. Hebrews 11 and 1 says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So I said yes to God, and though everything in my world seemed to say otherwise, my response activated my faith. That activation opened up a chance, which became possibility, and now is a reality. So, because my Zoe Grace is here and she's not going to make an appearance on this video, but you will see her in videos to come if I ever do another video. So, I just want you to think about your own life and just think about, are you allowing others to determine your destiny, or are you activating your faith? So, once again, I will say, eyes of mommy.